Hello everybody, my name's James. Welcome to the Planet FPL Gameweek 5 Deadline stream. And it's live, and we're in partnership with FPL Team, your best stop for all your FPL planning. Make sure you download the app at your favourite app downloading spot. Hello Pete, hope you're well, lots of love mate. Right, before I get into the questions, let me take you through graphics on screen. And then before I go into the question, I'm going to do a bit on Tottenham, because I can answer and eliminate a lot of questions right at the start. Firstly, let's take you through the graphics. My team is on screen, top right-hand corner. One transfer made. Rico Lewis gone. Destiny Udogie. Oh, wanna dance with Udogie. He's in, mate. So, I'm lining up this week. Turner in goal. Saliba, Udogie, Chilwell, Saka, Rashford, Maddison, vice-captain. Martinelli, Mitoma, Watkins, captain, Erling Haaland. I've got nice coverage on the bench in terms of cover. It's Johnston, Estupinan, Gusto, and João Pedro. Below that, you'll see a rotating predicted 11 graphic, which is going to show you my predicted 11s. They are predicted, I'm not ITK, for all 20 Premier League teams this week. To the left on the screen, you'll see my correct score predictions for all 10 games, and that will also rotate round with the captaincy picks. My top 10 in order of preference. My favourite is Heung-min Son. If you have him, I would captain him. He's the only one that I would go over Haaland for on captaincy. Why didn't I buy Son? I need more information, but certainly if I had him in, I'd take the gamble and captain him this week. Below me, you'll see the benching dilemmas graphic, and they run in order of pages 1 to 4. So if someone's on page 1, they're favoured over page 2, etc, etc. The player with the tick is the preferred player to start out of those two players. Page 5 will also show you a set of goalkeepers in terms of preference. There, right at the bottom ticker as well, you will see the upcoming 5 game weeks for all 20 Premier League teams, which should, I believe, include a blue graphic for Luton and Burnley in game week. Oh shit, it's not done, is it? Cap! Update the game week 7 fixtures, but we know they've got a double, right? Okay, there's a fault with the graphics. Right, that's the graphics done. We're about 52 minutes from deadline. I will try and get through as many of your questions as possible over the next 50 minutes or so. But I thought it would be a good place to start. I've got my shirt on. I'm going to the lane. It seems to be the only thing on anybody's mind this week is Tottenham, so I'll do a little piece on it now. I'm going to sum it up really, really simply. So just direct people to roughly about 2.5 minutes into this stream. Porro versus Udogie. I would have gone for Porro if I had the money in the bank to do so. I've got literally nothing. I would do it. I think his upside is better. That is my preference. If they were the same price, I'd have gone for Porro. That would be my preference. Udogie is a little bit more assured, longer term in terms of starts. Porro has a little bit more upside. Which one you went for, if you're deciding between that, might be what sort of manager you are. It might even be impacted by how much you want those players to play in forthcoming weeks. Do you have clear rotatable defenders, for example? These things also impact the decision. For me, there wasn't a decision. I could only go Udogie. That's what I've done. In terms of Son, I've already referenced, I would captain him this week. If I owned, I would gamble it. It's also easier for me to say that as I don't own him. It would maybe be a harder call if I was. But if he was sitting there, I think this is the sort of week I would gamble it. And that's just literally sticking to my regular principle. Erling Haaland, home game. Don't want to gamble against him. So he's away this week. Does he have an away game against a side that's going to be battling relegation? I don't want to gamble against him. So this falls into a group of there's probably around about 11 games, 11, 12 games in the course of a season where we can really look at it and go, I want to take him on. This is one of them. You can do it. Son is the only one to do it. Maddison is an absolutely great buy if you want to do it. That's a good longer term hold. Son, you need to have consciousness. On the Ask James stream yesterday, I spoke about considering outcomes. And what I mean by that is, I think Son, probably about 80%, he'll start through the middle today. But what do you feel if you move from someone great like Foden, which is still a great option for a few weeks at least. If you move from someone like Foden to Son, and Son starts on the left today, and Richarlison's up front and does well, and Son blanks, how do you feel then going into next week when Son goes to Arsenal whilst Foden has Nottingham Forest at home? And just consider if you might be better off waiting for a few weeks to get a bit more information. There are unknowns. 1, Richarlison's mood. Okay, we know there's an issue at the moment. He needs backing. He'll get it from the Tottenham fans. my take would be that I think Richarlison will be a sub today. If I get to Tottenham and he's in the team, it won't be a shock. But I do think Son will play through the middle. Also, we've got the unknown of Brennan Johnson. That's probably not impactful for today, but it probably is going to be in upcoming weeks. Where does he fit in? Is it going to be in the right? Does Postecoglou intend to use him through the middle? Also, Aleo Velez has started training with the first team as well. Young teenage forward who they got from Argentina. We probably won't see a lot of him, but he's an out-and-out number 9 as well. He may even be on the bench today. He joined the club with an injury. He's only started training with the team this week. Velez shouldn't be an impact, I don't think, in terms of Son. But what if he gets in the team and does really well, right? Longer term, we know exactly what we're getting from James Maddison. We don't know from Heung-min Son. That doesn't mean you shouldn't buy Heung-min Son, right? For me, he's the best asset in the game this week. But there should be a consciousness if you've got doubt or there are variables that we can't be absolutely certain yet what's going to happen going forward. Son could get free today and there's still no guarantee that it will start in the centre forward in upcoming weeks. Now, if he did, I'd suggest it's very much his position to lose, right? It may also depend on Manor Solomon's form, right? If Manor Solomon can make the left-hand side his own and do really well out there, and I think he's still erratic at times, that will also help the prospect of Son playing through the middle. We suspect he's now ahead of even Perisic in the pecking order, not just because he started against Burnley, but I have heard some rumours that there might have been an issue with Perisic after the Fulham game in terms of he wasn't particularly happy with a few things. So there's a lot to take in there. As ever, the answer is play it your way. There's not a right or a wrong. Okay? That's it. That's 4 minutes on Tottenham. Vivek Gore says, let's go into the questions. Actually, there's one before Vivek. Apologies. Let me just check that message. It is. Shout out to Kenneth Faz. Sayers says, Saka, Bruno to Son, already have Maddison. Look, I could have been doing that sort of thing, and I've decided not to do it, right? Vivek Gore says, hi James, currently have 1 free transfer and 0 in the bank. Walker to share, or Bowen to Mbumo, or just roll. What do you prefer? Oh, roll there, mate. But look at it logically. Is Share that better, much better than Walker this week? Is Mbumo that much better than Bowen this week? Roll. A little bit more information there I think could be important for you, mate. Kenneth Faz says, sell Pedro for Højlund. Question, how many minutes do you reckon he'll get? Don't have Rashford or Bruno, or get Morris Isak. Help, please. My take on Pedro is, and I think he probably starts today, and I think Brighton win. So how much is that a desperation to move on? It's just lost a little bit of value, and it's not to say you can't lose more value in the week to come. It's Bournemouth at home next week, and I tell you what, if you're going heavy on Tottenham, someone like Pedro might be quite useful for you next week. Now, in fairness, Isak has a good fixture, but debatable on minutes. Morris obviously has a good fixture next week. That's Wolves at home, and then he comes into his own double, right? So, probably Morris, but I'd kind of be pretty inclined to roll. I think we want a bit more information on Højlund, right? Like, look great in 20 minutes at Arsenal, but his goal record is not phenomenal or outstanding, right? Can we have a look at it first, maybe? Feels like rolling's the right answer here, I think, Kenneth. If you've got to make the move now, I'd arguably go Morris. But I'm not sure I'd want to start him away to Fulham. Bertica says, hey, James. By the way, smash like, please. Bertica says, hey, James. Rashford and João Pedro out for Rodri and Julian Alvarez. Went to remove Pedro for weeks, but 0 money to upgrade Thoughts? No. Not a fan of that. Again, I've got Rashford, João Pedro, mate. I don't have the other two. Not been something I thought about. I presume it would be 2-3, so you want to do something, right? If I was in that position, probably going João Pedro to Archer, tell you the truth. That'll free you up some money. Emily Sissoni said, would you still captain Salah, even with all the Liverpool injuries, or would you go Maddison now instead? Preference would be Salah over Maddison, yeah. It would, yeah. I just think Wolves' high line, not Wolves' high line, sorry, that's completely incorrect. Wolves' lack of ability to recovery on pace has been exposed a number of times already this season. And I think with no Trent, you might find that Salah's a little bit closer to goal in build-up, especially if Núñez doesn't play, and I suspect he might not start as well. So I think it could be a good week, actually, for Mo. So it would be Mo. That's not to say... why, Clayton, I couldn't care less, mate, what you're doing, mate. I couldn't care less, mate. Like, I love you loads, mate, but I couldn't care less. That genuinely, mate. what you do with your football team, good luck to you, mate. Safe travels. Like, I'll see you in the office Monday morning and that, mate. But I don't really care. Like, safe travels, isn't it? Clayton's got a ticket for Everton away. Yay, good for you. Well done. I'll give up. Yeah, Maddison's not a bad choice for captain. Of course he's not, right? Of course he's not. I think he's perfectly reasonable. I struggle to make the case for him over Haaland, personally. I just think I'd have to sit there and think, Maddison gets me 2 returns today. And he could, don't get me wrong, he could. It's not really gone through my mind to captain Maddison over Haaland, personally. Ali Bisma says, hi James, would you sell Martinelli or Mitoma for Son? I think, yeah, both of those are fine, particularly if you've got other Arsenal coverage, such as Saka, for example. Mitoma, I've obviously got European football coming up. There probably will be a little bit of rotation coming up for him as well. So I think although again, I think Brighton will probably do well in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, if I could have gone to Mitoma to Son in one free transfer, then that would have been on the cards for me, yes. James Wright says, morning James, feel free to skip. Sky question, which Chelsea to replace with Alan Yee on Sunday? Chilwell or Jackson? Thanks for the content, best out there. I would sell Chilwell out of the 2 for Sky Fantasy. Lee Duncan says, what do you think about Callum Wilson as a punt? Would be a placeholder for Watkins. I do have Callum Wilson predicted start today, but it is exactly that, punt. And again, look forward 2 or 3 weeks. Ollie Watkins is going to be very, very popular. And he's got a good fixture this week. Leave it be. CM Punk 2310. He's unemployed. No, he's not. Hey James, would you consider doing Pickford to Pope if you don't see yourself making too many transfers to the wild card? Also, would love to know your thoughts on Pochettino's system at Chelsea. Look, good timing for Pope, I guess. The fixtures are really, the next 6 or so are really good. I'd make the case that there's other sort of 4.5s and stuff that may show up better in the likes of Flecken, for example, perhaps even Bernd Leno. On Chelsea's system, handicapped a little bit by available personnel at the moment, it's worth saying. There's obviously an integration happening currently with Caicedo, and Enzo Fernandez is therefore playing a little bit further forward. They need to integrate people like Cole Palmer if he's going to be a regular starter, for example. It's very much a back 4 that can manoeuvre into a back 5, but it very much shifts. So Ben Chilwell, make no mistake, he's playing left wing. He's not playing left wing, mate. Playing left wing. And I'd tell you what I was thinking this week. I was thinking, how do Chelsea fans feel about it? Just remove the fantasy. Like, are they comfortable with Ben Chilwell as their left winger? They're not rather just have him pushing forward from left back. But I think there's a lack of trust on him defensively and stuff. So it's a work in progress. I wondered about this a lot in the summer with Pochettino, that I thought it would take a few months for his methods to come through. And I still believe that's the case. They have the benefit of a few good fixtures, then they come into a really tough run. They've got to do well in these next few. You can't be having many more results like Nottingham Forest in Gameweek 4. Roseanne Fleur says, can I win my head-to-head match this week? Yeah, whatever is a head-to-head, right? And it's one game week, mate, so literally anything can happen. Ollie Smith says, Mitoma or 6.5 million, and Archer or Morris, and a Fulham mid 5.6 for 4-5 week rotation. So Mitoma and Archer, or Morris and Morris and Harry Wilson. Not joking. Yeah, that's what. If you know you're going wildcard in game week 9, yeah, Morris and Harry Wilson's fine. James Brennan says, hi James, I have 2 FTs, not sure what to do with them. Would you move Aki on but think he starts? Is Pedro de Hoyland crazy? Looking at moving to Darwin, Isak, Watkins, game week 8, thanks. He's put slashes there, as in it's not going to be all of them, it's going to be one of them. I mean, is it crazy? No, it's not crazy, but I want a bit more information. Is there an enabler you can move, like, you know, Archer part of your plans, or a different 4.5 midfielder, or a different 4.0 defender or goalkeeper? Is there something else you can move and give yourself a bit more information, like fix up that problem, go, okay, that's, rather than thinking, this improves my team, because we don't have any information, is it better to look at, okay, this is a problem I've got sitting on my bench, this is longer term, when then I can focus back when I've got a bit more information. That would be the advice, I think, James. Zaris says, attacker at 7 million long term. Smash the like button and subscribe. Let's do it. Let's have more likes than Andy. I mean, that's impossible, isn't it? Andy's the GOAT. Attacker at 7 million long term. Ollie Watkins. What's long term to you? It'll be like that. What we saying? 10 game weeks. Yeah, Ollie Watkins. It's not leaving my team. Yeah, that's generally that's the shout. Emily says has gone. Mind you, he's more than 7 million, isn't he? So that's not helpful. Mr. Diaby in that case. Emily says have gone Estupinan to a doggy and want to move Baldock -4 to a 4.4 defender. Was going to go Botman next week if he dropped, but with Baldock dropping, would you just go Doty from Luton this week? No, I wouldn't. I'd still prefer to go Kabori, but you need more information right now. Maybe Amari Bell might be a safer play for you, although it's dull as dishwater. He probably is going to stay in that team, so there's an option for you. Roseanne says there are so many live FPL deadline streams on YouTube these days. Which one to watch? Not mine, Roseanne. Clearly, well, it's not this one, like a different one. John Chung says, morning James, have 2 free transfers for Mbama. Should I punt on Awen Yi, then bench him for the next 2, or go straight to Morris though, or have a huge benching dilemma for next 2? Benching dilemmas are okay, particularly with the European football about to start. I mean, I don't mind going Awen Yi. I mean, it's a great punt for this particular week. Not sure how comfortable we'd be benching him in 7. 6 next week away to City, I get. 7, it's what, Man City, not Man City, Brentford at home, isn't it? I want to play him in that. Brentford, decent side. Granted, I get all that, but I want to play him, I think. So bear that in mind. Just bear that in mind. But yeah, I'm punting now when he's perfectly reasonable, mate. Aaron Hill says, looking forward for today, James. As a blade, I'm hoping for another upset against your boys like last season in the FA Cup. Don't own any Spurs, though. He's stooping into a doggy worth doing. I'm quite keen to keep Purvis, to be honest. I think there's a fair chance he might lose a little bit of value in upcoming weeks. But my take is, just look ahead. There's rough fixtures coming. But then look at sort of like game week 10 onwards for Brighton. And I can't help thinking, oh my God, I want him back. That's how I feel. So just think, I can leave him be. The only week I'm probably uncomfortable starting him is Manchester City away in game week 9. And I should be in a position where I don't need to. So I'm sticking around for me. But I also get the idea of going Udogi for kind of that same period and then going back to Estupinan can work. But it's potentially saving you 2 transfers for other stuff if you don't do it, right? Consider it that way. I don't think I'd do it, you know. Dion Chung says, should I captain Haaland if I'm a West Ham fan? No, you should captain someone else, but you should also play it your way, whatever you feel. Snicko says, hey James, playing Bumo or Alvarez this week. Love the content. Not be comfortable leaving a Man City attacker out that I thought was going to start, mate. Jerry Dharma Hughes says, hi James, I've used 1 free transfer to Bear to a doggy. Thoughts on Foden Sterling to Son from -4 and capping Son. Good luck this game week, mate. Always enjoyed your content. Keep it up. I would not do the Foden to Son -4 as per what I said in the bit about Tottenham at the start of the stream. If you're just joining in late and you want Tottenham stuff, minutes 2.5 to 6.5 is a full coverage of my thoughts. Sterling to Son -4 and captain. I think I'd do it, yeah, personally. Nicky Kassam says, morning broski, if you were a donkey like me and still had Richarlison, would you try to move him on this week even if there's nothing jumping out at you off the bench with a bit of fire in the belly? He will definitely get on the pitch. That's unquestionable. And there's that to factor in for Son as well, right? It's not to say Son don't play up front for 45 minutes and go to the left. It'd probably be longer than that, but Son's not going to play up front for 90 minutes. It's not. Richarlison will get on. Postecoglou's confirmed he'll be involved. He could start, of course, but I think it's more likely to be off the bench. If you don't know where you're going, Nicky, then yeah, I'd probably leave it be and take your medicine, if you will, but he's got to go, mate. He's got to go longer term. Frederick Hertz says, cheers, James. Who to transfer out for Morris, Nketiah or Pedro? I wouldn't go Nketiah at this stage. Transfer out. So you've got Nketiah or Pedro. Might end up getting rid of both as part of the project going against Haaland, Watkins and Darwin Hall. Then I would be looking to give myself a little bit more information if I was in that position, mate. Yeah, I'd certainly Nketiah. I think he probably starts for Arsenal this week. I think that becomes more of a problem going into next week in the North London derby. Not him per se as in playing against Tottenham, but I think Jesus might come back in for it. I think Jesus probably my instinct would be starting the Champions League in midweek, and then it'll be what it'll be from there, I think. But I think Nketiah may well start again tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. So I'd be giving myself more information time there, mate. James Brennan says, hi James, bench one of Harry Wilson, Jackson, Jesus and Darwin this week. Minus 56, so don't have worse options. Cheers. That's just, minus 56 is going to confuse a lot of people, mate, but I know where you're at. Bench one of Harry Wilson, Jackson, Gabriel Jesus, Darwin. I mean, I haven't got Jesus or Darwin Núñez in predicted lineups this week, so based on my predictions, I'm going to say Jesus. The Palms 9 says, morning, hope you're well. What are your thoughts about Gusto? Worth keeping as fodder or just being, yeah, it's not the biggest problem, is it? Thing is as well, it's like Reece James is still going to be a few weeks away, and those with Gusto worrying is like, well, you know, with respect, Reece James has every chance to break down again in 2 weeks, and Gusto becomes an option again quite quickly. So Gusto's fine for the next 3 or so. Then in sort of 5, they play Arsenal in game week 9, and then the fixtures get tougher, and just forget about it. Leave him be. Like, that's not a major issue. So he stays for me at the moment. Zarish says, should I keep Bruno Fernandes? What's your opinion? Not something special at points so far. Greatness from sunny Greece. Yes, I'd keep at the moment. Again, Manchester United's fixture run from game week. Well, you could include this one for the offensive players, really, with Brighton. Other than playing Man City in game week 10, he's brilliant for like 10 game weeks. So we just want more information in terms of what's happening with the right-hand side. My instinct, by the way, is that Rashford will go out there. And that would make me very conscious that, I'm not so sure that I want that as an asset. But it could be Fernandes goes out there, right? It could be that Pellistri comes into the team and they stay where they've been playing. What's the impact of Højlund coming into the team? It's just need more information on Manchester United right now. So the advice, therefore, would be hold, because it could be regrettable to sell. Amor Matthew Scott says, morning, shall I transfer out Saka for Son? I wouldn't do it. Gareth James says, good luck this week, mate. Which 3 would you play from Walker, Saliba, Gusto or Stupinan? That would have been much easier, Gareth, if you'd written which one to bench, mate. Which one to bench, Gusto, mate, from that. And Ninda Das says, hi, James, good luck on your game week. Would you do Saka to Son for -4 or Szoboszlai to Maddison -4? Szoboszlai is a really interesting player to keep an eye on, in my opinion. I will, by the way, if there is any information knocking about in the Liverpool team, if I get anything, I will share it. But it won't come directly to me. That will be from external sources, no doubt about it. Szoboszlai and Maddison -. I'm not convinced by that. And I just said I wouldn't do Saka the Son for free, I don't think. So, no. Nah, none. It's a no for neither. I'm afraid, mate. Ollie Smith says, hi James, on wildcard, want to play Son and keep 3.5 in the bank to move from Son to Salah, or any other move I want to do, or just start with Salah. If I was on wildcard, we have to consider this. Maybe just look ahead to game week 9 in your planning. Use FPL team. Get off this stream. Get on FPL team. Look ahead at your planning, because you probably want both of them in game week 9. So what does that look like? How does that work? My personal opinion is, if I was on wildcard right now, there's no way I wouldn't have Son in. No way at all. So I'd leave it. And with you've got the money in the bank, it's what I said, if it goes wrong for Sonny today, it's like, oh shit, he's on the left, what am I going to do? Yada, yada, yada. With the money in the bank, you can go to Salah next week, right? So yeah, it'd be start with Sonny, I think. Gaz's Flute 83 wants to bring in Son for either Martinelli or Saka. Who would you sell? Martinelli, reluctantly. Downstairs says, more in legend, would you sell on Boomer for Son for free? Might sound like a daft question, but I'm looking at fixtures over the next 3. My plan had been to sell Saka for Son in 8, then wildcard in 9. Well, if you're looking over the next 3, Dan, and Boomer's got Everton and Nottingham Forest after this next one, I'm not sure I'd want to get rid. Today in front of you, like on Boomer to Son, absolutely fine. Just again, ask yourself, is there potential regret there when you look next week and Boomer's got Everton and Son's going to Arsenal? That's all. That's all you got to consider. But on the face of it, as a free, yeah, I'd probably do it. I've been coping without and Boomer. I don't know if I've been coping well, but I've been coping. Billy Taylor says, howdy, Jay Lynn's listening on a train in Switzerland. Nice. My question is, how many likes on the stream would it take to do the Jesse Lingard JL celebration live on camera? Well, about 400 likes and I'll do it. 400 likes, yeah. Go, smash a like. I'll probably forget though. So you'll need to remind me. I mean, I've done it before anyway. It's my initials, isn't it? So it's not a big deal to me. Voyas Verta says, I have 2 FTs and 1.1 in the bank. Should I make a goalkeeper transfer? Have Turner Pickford or do Pedro to someone Archer and bench him? If a keeper, who? Thanks for the content. I'd Flecken, I think, would be the one from Pickford. You've got money in the bank, haven't you? Affordable. Yeah, I think you want to be in Pickford. The timing's right. So, yeah. Mind you, going Flecken at this minute doesn't feel super either. If it's short-term decision, like if you think you're wildcard in game week 9, as an example, Leno by miles with what Fulham have got over the next 4. Meninda says, thoughts on a Daisy-type move of Rashford to Son, then Martinelli to Rashford next week. Arsenal fixtures stiffen next week. I presume that's all affordable, Meninda. To be honest, if I was in that position and that's kind of what you want to do, honestly, I would just go Martinelli to Son. Yeah. Rather than, Rashford's got Brighton at home, I'm shitting myself and then go back. Nah, I think that's close enough. You put in an extra transfer in the bank. I know what you're saying and I get the principle. But if that was the case, I'd just sell Martinelli now of the two. Shout out to FPL Rover, FPL Galazzo. Your messages are retracted, but shout out to you anyway. Wavy, good luck, James. I'm hoping your team helps you enjoy your weekend. I cannot wait to get to the lane today. Honestly, I can't ever remember be buzzing for what looks like such a mundane fixture. With all due respect to Sheffield United, absolutely buzzing. If there's any Tottenham fans going and want to say hello, I'm intending to get down to the lane a couple of minutes after kickoff of Wolves Liverpool. I'll be on Park Lane Square on the south. I'll probably be in this shirt. I'll probably have a cap on as well because it's going to be blazing hot today. Come and say hello. I'm going to go and watch the Liverpool game on the big screen outside the home end. Don't be shy from talking to people. Generally, come and say hello. Let's talk Tottenham because we're all happy at the moment till we get beat today. I'm very confident. I've got no reason not to be confident. All you lot seem confident with what you want to do with Tottenham assets. Wavy says, good luck, James. I'm hoping your team helps you enjoy the weekend. It was so good, I thought I'd say it twice. Gareth James says, what would you say the chances of Sonny going back wide in the next few weeks are? Holding off Bruno's son is twitchy about it happening. I kind of what I said at the start, Gareth. We don't know. I won't be surprised if Richarlison plays. That said, at the same time, it still feels like it would be a surprise because he's got the hat-trick against Burnley. Sure, you'd look at that and just go, that was pretty good. And that first 20 minutes of the second half was against the back 5 and they tore Burnley apart. So you would think he stays through the middle, right? But beyond this week, I'm not even certain about this week. How can I tell you about next week and stuff? This is what I've said. Consider what the outcomes are. How do you feel if that's the case? That's it. And that's where I get where the doubt is. And for me, the next 2 are tough enough that I could just look at it and go, I'll come back to this in game week 8. Now, if you're absolutely certain you want to get him in and captain him, then my advice would be buy him. But like you, Gareth, I've got enough twitchiness. I want more information on Manchester United and what's happening with this vacuum they've got in the team on the right-hand side. What's the impact of Amrabat coming in? Does it shift it to a 4-2-3-1? Which it basically has been anyway, but Casemiro will obviously have more proper out-and-out help in that position. There are unanswers on Manchester United that I can foresee a situation where we're sitting here in 3 or 4 weeks and going, oh shit, I want to go treble United. And that's why for me, like Rashford's, for me right now, until I've got more information and I feel comfortable selling, he's not going anywhere. I could have gone, the move I made, Lewis to Udogie, I could have gone Rashford to Son. Exact money in the bank, I could have made that move. Decided not to. And do you know what? If Sonny gets hat-trick today, no one will be happier than me, believe me. Because I'd rather see Sonny through the middle than Richarlison anyway. But big love to Richie. We're going to get behind you today. JP says, start Estupinan or Vardiol. The City player. No. Don't think he starts. It doesn't really make sense. So with him and a specific, I think he's his Stupinan. Downstairs would like everyone to smash a like. Yes, please. Thank you, Dan. JP says, what's happened to Vissa? Probably in a hotel in Newcastle at the moment, mate. Ben Keane says, good morning, James. Who wouldn't you start between March, Saliba and Mbumo? I would not be keen leaving Mbumo out as a penalty taker, really. March against Dallo. I'm trying to visualise that. You know, March is coming into Dallo's stronger foot. Could go off though. Yeah, that's tough. That one, that's really tough. I think I'd bench Saliba. Yeah, I think maybe. I think that's the right answer. I think. Finn 122. Jackson to Højlund or Saka Foden to Son. Can I say neither? I mean Jackson. Underlines are great. Can we give this a little bit more of a chance? That Jackson to Højlund on what? Let's go this week and let's get a bit more info. Saka Foden to Son. Rewind to what I covered right at the start of the stream. Dread FPL says, morning mate. Udogie and Son -4 as captain. He's got FOMO. Good luck, my friend. Tiffany FPL Firefly says, is Morris worth the punt with Luton's fixtures? Will be replacing Pedro. Thanks. I just think, Tiffany, that's one where, like, if you've got 2 frees, I can understand doing it now. I just feel like just wait a week with that one and get yourself a little bit more information, because you might sit in next week and go, oh, I want to play Pedro against Bournemouth. Like, you might. I don't foresee that massively at the moment, but it's a possibility. So I think wait a week. Penguin says, hey mate, hope you're well. Have 2 free transfers. Son and Areola in for Foden and Onana, or Maddison and Porro in for Foden and Lewis. I have Salah. Well, just 1 transfer. Cheers, mate. You're going to the lane. You'll know I'm going to the lane. I quite like the Maddison and Porro in for Foden and Lewis. Madison, again, we know exactly what we're getting. I spoke about this on the Ask James stream yesterday. We know exactly what we're getting. We know exactly where he's going to play. There'll be intricacies, like the Bournemouth game. He dropped in a bit deeper. Didn't stop him getting into a high position and ending up with a 1-on-1 and scoring. Against Burnley, he stayed a bit higher. Drifted into left channels a little bit more. So little intricacies. We know exactly what we get. That's why I wouldn't put anybody off buying James Maddison. And also, as I said yesterday as well, I think he's capable of more than just ticking over, if you will. We look at him and we see consistency, but I think there are games where he's capable of more. We saw that at Leicester, and with due respect to them, and I watched them last night, and they did all right, but I also saw one of the worst defensive performances I've seen in many a year from Southampton. So bad, in fact, that I might even do a talking tactics on it this week. Maddison's a great longer term pick, I think. He's going to play every game. There's no reason why he's not going to play every game as well. Not that should be an issue for Son either. Patrick Lawson says, why a doggy over a Newcastle defender? Right in front of my face, mate. And I'll tell you why. If I'd have bought Botman this week, and it's a very fair question, if I'd have bought Botman this week, I wouldn't have played him. So what was the point? I'd have started a Stupinan under that, and you can see that from the benching dilemma selections where I've kind of got Botman right at the end. I would have played a Stupinan over Botman this week. So, yes, better cover for me for 6 and 7, but I wanted better cover now. And I was also conscious that I was probably going to want to get to Udogie or Porro in game week 8. So I've decided to act now. Noel Brennan says, morning James, hope all is well with you. In Sky, would you go from Chilwell or Colwell to Bayer on Monday night? I know it's not an FPL question. It's fine, mate. It's not advertised necessarily as an FPL stream. We're Planet FPL, right? But I didn't advertise it. I just said it's a Gameweek 5 deadline stream. So you can ask Sky, mate. I wouldn't go. I think I've come to the conclusion, Noel, that I'm going to go Awoniyi on Monday and not go Burnley player, and give myself a bit more thinking time on it and source the next 3 fixtures that they've got before the Luton game. So if you've got Awoniyi in place, I wouldn't bother. If you don't want to go that route, yes, I would go Bayer as the choice. I mean, Colwell's not hitting the passing tiers anyway, so you might as well have the upside of Chilwell. That would be my take. Dread says, have a good one, mate. You too, pal. LP says, morning, James. Play Henry or a Stupinan. Have a good game week. I would play a Stupinan, mate. Henry, I may have described, and I love him as a player. Genuinely do. Every time I see an England squad, he's the one that disappoints me that he's not been given a chance. He's all fart and no poo, though, for for fantasy, to be honest. Will Jones says, hi James, hope you and the family are well. Never seem to glean much from Eddie Howe's pressers, notoriously quite tight-lipped about injuries. Do you reckon Botman plays tonight, keep up the top weight? Yeah, he's trained most of the week, so I'd be very confident Botman plays. Just a dad posting stuff, going round in circles, 1 free transfer, Foden, Son or Roll, got Matters already. I'm going to say Roll, but hide behind the sofa. Denver says, morning James, which swap would you do for free? Punt, Bowen to Diaz or Alvarez up to Jota Gakpo? Neither. I don't know if you'd be assured that any of them Liverpool players start this week. Honestly, I think that could be Jota, Gakpo. I think it could be, they could both play. It could be Jota on the left, Gakpo up front. Consider the travelling that Diaz has done and stuff. But it could just be same team, right? It could be Diaz and Nunes. So, no, I wouldn't be doing that, to be honest, mate. Ollie Smith says, Andreas Wilson or Bobby Reid. I'm going to back Harry Wilson, guys. Keith Redfield says, hey there, good luck this week. My team, I'm not reading your team, but good luck, mate. It's just boring, mate, reading other people's teams. Norm says, hi, James. Are you into knots? My 2 favourites are the bowline and 2 half hitches. You're more than welcome to come over to Cred and I can show you some knots with my friend Angus. That reminds me of the gym question I got. You remember that? I'm gonna pass. Ken Hughes says bench 1 of Mitoma and Bumo, Luis Diaz. God, Luis Diaz with huge reluctance. Andrew Gondis says, hi Jimothy. Crucial Spurs question, where did you get that Spurs shirt looking sharp? Oh, I've had this for a long time. Club shop. Long time ago. Concept says, morning James, would you transfer Rashford out for Diaby? No. Will Jones says, apologies, just seen the predicted lineup. No problem, Will. Carl Wells says, morning James, Martinelli to Son and Captain, worth it for free? Probably yes. Alex, if you've got Saka as well though, I'm going to work on that assumption. Alex Serpis says, Martinelli to Bruno, a smart move as a second free transfer. Wait a week. I mean, that's an easy wait, to be honest. Ben Keane, are you still going in for Bayer on Sky? As you just said, Ben, I think I'm going to wait. But as just explained, he would be the Burnley one that I went for if I was going that way on Monday night. FPL Rover says, morning, James. Would you start Tavares or Kabore? They're both probably on page 10 of your benching dilemmas list. No, not at all. I've predicted both to start. I'd punt Tavares, I think. It's got the better fixture, isn't he? We was thinking about this when we did Forest Burnley COTC the other week, and we said that we thought if there was a change, and this was before we had, Warriors of Doubt and Steve Cooper's a passive liar to take no notice anyway, that Tavares was the most likely to break instantly into the team. So, Tavares, yeah. I think he's one to keep an eye on, actually, 4.0, because chances are he'll be left wing back, right? Jack Tasker says, who would you sell at Salah or João Pedro, and for who? 1.3 million bank, 2 free transfer attempts, just Bulldog for a 3.9. What? I mean, which shall I sell at Salah or João Pedro? Like, imagine if I said Salah. Ryan Walker says, morning James, I'm on Sun captain, play Gabriel or Stupinan. I'd go with Gabriel. You can use him as an exact replica for Saliba on the bench in dilemmas. I'm pretty confident he'll play this time for the first time. I'm confident in it since game week 1 when I was also wrong. Carul says Alvarez or Mbumo to start. Thank you, Alvarez. Andrew Jarvis says, hey James, hope all is well. Who do you think will be bottom of the league at Christmas? Good luck for the game week. Sheffield United with reluctance. It feels like a really wrong day for me to say that because I know I'm basically memeing myself, aren't I? Schnapp says start Mbumo, Foden or Alvarez. From that lot at the moment, Christ, you ain't benching Mbumo and Foden, mate. There's nothing in your team that could be that good to put you in that position. So I'm just going to ignore the question. Yusuf says, should I do Foden, Mitoma to Bruno or buy a Trippier for Gabriel? Stupid. Roll. Jay says, Mickey VDV an option. What you're saying to me, Jay, is I can't afford Udogie or Porro. Is he an option? Well, what I can tell you with him and Romero is they're going to play every game at the moment unless one of them's injured. There's no doubt about that at all. But yeah, you basically saying I can't afford the other two is what you're saying, right? There's no reason you wouldn't pay the extra. Is he an option? I'm gonna have to say no, because you might be in a position where you're going, oh my god, I want Son, I want Maddison, I want Brennan Johnson. Who knows? Richarlison gets back into form and plays OOP up front. I want Udogie, I want Porro. There's too many other potentials at Tottenham to put yourself in that position where, yeah, I wouldn't. I'd just go into something like an Ethan Pinnock or something and think, that's great rotational for upcoming weeks or something. Villa better even. Decent fixture this week. So is VDV an option? Yes, he is. But you're potentially blocking yourself off much better Tottenham options going forward, and I wouldn't want to do that. Gavin Richardson says, for next week, who's the best Luton 4 million defender? Need the funds game week 9 for Salah. We'll answer that on Monday. There might be a lot of information that's learnt this week. I'm still liable to want to lean in and say Kabore to you, but it might be that Bell becomes the safest. Island Boy FPL says, hi James, long time lurker here. Would you do Mbama to Alvarez for free to bench and Boomer, or just roll it? I think to answer your question, it's not as straightforward as that, because are you changing your structure? Like, do you want to stay with two up front longer term? And if you do, and you want to keep like a Mbama or an Archer or Muniz, whatever you've got down there going forward, if that's your structure anyway, I think the right answer is to say no. Now, if you're looking to move your structure, or you just want to be in a position where you can kind of bench your weakest player per week, as say Mbumo now, then fine, crack on, do it. But just consider the consequence of that when, I want to get Salah and Haaland together in game week 9 and things like that, and shit gets more awkward. Consider that. Maybe sticking now might be the wrong immediate answer, but it might be the better longer term answer. Chip says, hey James, have Maddison already? You reckon the double up adding Sonny worth it for either Rashford or Bruno? Look, is it worth it this week? Probably, yeah. Would I do it? No. I can only answer it that way. Maybe if I had both, I'd be a little bit more tempted. But I still wouldn't like to choose which one to sell when we haven't got the information yet of what Manchester United are going to do to cover up for the fact they don't have a right-sided winger at the moment other than Pellistri, if he plays. What's the solution? We can all have our theories. We're not picking the team. We might be wrong. As I've said, I think it'll be Rashford who will go to the right, but I might have that wrong. So I'd probably want more info there. Torfig says, hi James, looking elegant as usual. Bloody hell, mate. You got goggles in that profile photo, mate. Who to bench? 1, Jota and Mbumo, or March? Bloody hell. Jota on the least likely to play metric, but also the best fixture metric doesn't make sense. God, that's rough. Jeez. I wouldn't be happy benching March or Mbumo this week. I'm going to say Jota. Sorry. I'm sorry because I know it might hurt. Sorry. Benjamin says, hey James, I'm tired of Onana and don't believe in Man United defence. Do I get Pope, Edison 4.5, just play Turner? Just play Turner this week. It should be fine. But yeah, I can't be having Edison as an asset. You'll get consistency from me on that. I don't want Man City because I don't trust the defenders. There's better goalkeepers at $1 million cheaper. Like, he's got the most clean sheets. He's got the most clean sheets so far this season. We can probably expect that. Is he the highest scoring goalkeeper? No. Andrew Sands says, like number 49, Darwin frightens me this week. If Wacko, Jacko blanks, that I probably wouldn't compare Nicholas Jackson to that, to be honest, mate. That move will be very popular. P.S. I've been touching up my shed this morning. Andrew, this reads so badly, mate. I don't think Darwin will start, so I think you're all right. Ragav, thank you for your lovely message, by the way, yesterday, mate. Welbeck to Awoniyi for -4 and play him or play Pedro instead and save transfer. I mean, Awoniyi, great option. But take -4 for him, don't think so. Jack Walker says, laughing my arse off. He is your friend. Surely the rivalry is not that deep. Yeah, it is. Yeah. He's talking about Clayton. Yeah, I'm going to wind up just in case he's watching, right? Because he's messaging me while I'm doing the deadline stream, so I presume he's watching, right? Schnapp says, Bench and Boomer, I've done it, mate, and I told you it was awful the first time, mate. Sod it, Bench and Boomer, God's sakes. Tom Sleeman, I have one free transfer and 4 million in the bank. Do I do Eze to Son? Oh God, I'd be massively tempted. Yeah, probably. Frankie, James, can you talk a little bit about Saliba over Stupinan bench and dilemmas? Cheers, mate. Yeah, just to be honest, it's a close one. I fancy Arsenal for a clean sheet. It's simple as that. I've predicted them to win 1-0. So for a Stupinan to beat that, he needs to score really. Not that he can't hit bonus with an assist, but also factor, when Arsenal won 1-0 at Palace, it was an 8-pointer for Saliba. Could be that again if it's similar, right? So that's why. Fighter Jet says, hi, would you play Jackson or Watkins? Thanks, James. Watkins. Home fixture, yeah. Palace potentially without Gay. Yes, please. FPL Gold Galazzo. Good morning, James. Have a great game week. I have 2 free transfers. Pickford to Alisson and Vardiol to Botman. But start Pau Torres over Botman. So, okay, I'm going to assume you need to do the second one to get Alisson. I don't hate Alisson as a pick in the way I'd hate Edison as a pick, by the way. Like, it's fine. Pau Torres over Botman. I mean, particularly if you've got Mbumo, that makes sense and kind of an all-in strategy. I'm not in love with it though. But if you got your plan, mate, you follow through and do it. Don't literally follow through, but you know what I mean. Daniel Cullerton says, start 1 is Stupinan and Rico Henry. Stupinan. I own Bruno Fernandes, so should I double down and go Rico Henry? Tough one, as I see, Stupinan's a better attacking asset. Well, that's it. I talk about all-in strategies, and I've literally just done it with, say, a Botman versus Mbumo. But the difference with that is, Botman, you're looking for the clean sheet, right? It's Stupinan, you're looking for clean sheet or attacking return. So a different example would be next week, I'm probably going to play Chilwell and Ollie Watkins, right, in game week 6. So the chance of them both return is probably unlikely. But I'll be looking, what if it's 1-1 and they both score, right? Perfecto. And that could happen in this sort of circumstance. Zubin says, hi James, thoughts on Captain Salah over Haaland? I don't hate it, but I wouldn't do it. Gavin Richardson says, Owen, thanks for all the content. I'm very much looking forward to 777 and Everton next Thursday. Yes, that will be our Money in Football podcast on Patreon next week. The takeover of Everton Football Club. How bloody worried should they be, Evertonians? Jordan Murphy says, I have a gut feeling Chelsea concede to Bournemouth. I'm tempted to bench Chilwell and start Rico Henry or Estupinan. Okay, if you got a gut feeling, mate, you got a gut feeling, but I wouldn't do it. Zubin says, start Edro against United or Gusto against Bournemouth. Correct it. Pedro. Okay. Pedro against United. Or I've got Gusto, to be honest. I see no reason why Gusto doesn't play. George says, Madders captain or Haaland? I think as well it's close enough that Haaland and Madders will still return nice for you. JS says, how come Gvardiol isn't your predicted City lineup? He's in my wildcard team. Because I've predicted an unchanged City lineup from the victory over Fulham, bar the fact that Bernardo Silva is in there for Kovacic. That's Gvardiol didn't start last game. I think they probably set up similar. West Ham pros difficult threats, right? Like aerial and stuff, right? And it might just be rather go with players who, little things like how do you defend on set pieces. Like that could be important to Guardiola today, genuinely. So, look, would I be surprised if Guardiola plays? No, not at all. Do I hate him as a wild card pick? No. Clearly he's going to get in that team. Robert Warnock says, G'day James, you must be stoked with Spurs' performances so far. No question, just happy for you long-suffering Spurs fans. Listen, there's plenty of football clubs who suffer worse than us, right? Bury until very recently hadn't played a home game in their town for like 4 years, right? So, there's people have been worse off than me. But I get what you're saying, and I thank you for the sentiment. Yes, I'm buzzing, mate. I cannot wait to get down there. I said to the missus, I'm like, as soon as it's finished, can I just go? She's like, yeah, go. I can't wait. Mark Ellison says, top content as always, James. Keep up the great work. So glad Harry had a good week. Have a great game. Come you Spurs. Up the Waz. Calvin FPL. Morning, James. Hello, Calvin. Elron Cupboard says, we're about 7 minutes from deadline, by the way, guys. Not seen anything as yet on potential. I've just seen Brad Lewinden's message on Slack. Punted Harry Wilson, blaming James if he's shy. You can blame me, mate. I didn't buy him. You pressed the button, mate. There's nothing as yet as far as I've seen on Liverpool team news. If we've got anything, message me on Slack, please, guys, and I can pick it up and share. Double check sources though, as always. Elron Cupboard says, Spurs fan, you must be chuffed. Ange seems like a great bloke. Tottenham playing gorgeous football. What are you hoping, expecting for the season? just that this continues. There's no target. I spoke about this on our Patreon pod over the last 2 Wednesdays. There's no target. There's no target. I spoke about a consciousness that if Tottenham beat Sheffield United, Liverpool and Arsenal, then, oh God, then people are going to be saying that Tottenham challenging for the league. And I get that, and there's a consciousness of that. That's pretty unlikely. But there's no target. This is a real long-term thing that's just started. And there will definitely be, you know, weird days where, you know, we go to Palace on a Friday night and I can see it's just I could see it'd be the type of game where suddenly Tottenham lost 3-0 and people say, oh, Tottenham can't play like that, they're way too open and stuff. We're winning games, no one's talking about it right now, and I think that kind of hiccup will be around the corner at some point in the game that's unexpected. You know, touch wood, that's not today. But I just want this to continue. There's no target. I said in the summer that if at the end of this season, if Tottenham finished 8th or 9th, and I was, you know, really pleased with the philosophy and style of football, I'd be happy. He's already done it, so I'm already happy. So whatever happens this season is already a bonus in my mind. If we keep winning football matches, we'll put us in contention to challenge for a Champions League place, particularly if it drops to 5th, right? We are going to overwhelm some teams with the way that we play. Harvey says, transferring out Saliba next week. Thoughts on Giles from Luton instead of Botman, or which defender 4.5 or less would you recommend? Hope you well. Love the content, mate. This is an interesting point on Giles, because Giles is the best Luton defender in terms of what his output would likely be. He's crossing, he puts in a lot of crosses, his delivery's really good. Like, I can certainly see the upside of someone like him for a double game week. No doubt about it. You know, if you said money, no object, best Luton asset probably in any position. But I say, yeah, Giles for the double. Yeah, honestly. After Morris, in fairness. But what do you want to do with that after? Would you not rather just have the 4.0 sitting and think, oh, it's not a problem, I'm going to leave him last sub? That's, you know, that's where it's at. And if you can afford to do that with Giles, maybe you can. But as I mentioned, 8, 9, you're probably going to want every penny you've got to be able to get into Salah Haaland. And so Giles is relative to Salah, maybe, subject to your team. Obviously can't see it, right? So I wouldn't be going Giles, therefore. 0.5, great. Do I want to spend that? So, no, I'd be buying Botman. Shobit says, Gvardiol to 4 million defender, Eze to Son, Rashford to Foden, -4, 0.0 in the bank. Don't love it, mate. Gonna be honest. It's like a force round the world to get Heung-min Son in. Avid says, hi James, who to play bench? Morris and Bumo. I play in Bumo, I think. Cosmos says, hi James, for 2 free transfers, roll 1 probably. Shall I focus on fixing team issues, upgrading Baldock, moving João Pedro, or getting Son? I can upgrade any mid to him in 1 move, but I kind of like my current setup. Then roll. You're not going to roll, obviously. It might be therefore, if you're benching João Pedro, might be the week you just go, right, so this João Pedro to Archer, like, yeah, fine. It's perfect. 2 free transfers, not sure what to do. Right, exactly what I said. Fix what you deem as your crap, therefore, right? Ian Everett says, morning, mate. Have 1 transfer this week and unhappy with my keepers, Johnson and Pickford. Would you leave them, roll, recommend another keeper, not wildcard till game week 8? I mean, Leno's got Sheffield United at home in 8. Over the next 3, Pope if affordable. Ironically, Onana might be a good shot. It's going to piss people. But Leno fixes up your problem. And to be honest, actually, if you know you're going to wildcard in 8, I'd arguably go Kaminsky. If you know you're wildcarding in game week 8, yeah. Fulham away, Wolves at home, double. Probably go Kaminsky, mate. I don't suppose you're going to have 3 Luton sitting in your team, so why not that? Elron Cupboard says, I put £3 at 40 to 1, so I'm hoping Spurs do a Leicester. Jesus Christ, mate. You won't see me for dust for ages. I'll just be doing streams and just be laughing and crying, mate. North Smith says, there won't be no words. Should be blowing party puffs. I would, if Tottenham win the league, I would do a live stream and just be me. I'd just blowing up like 100 party poppers, mate. North Smith says, João Pedro to Alvarez or Morris. Again, what happens afterwards? The chance are you want to bin both in 8. I ain't going to say because it doesn't feel right, man. Morris, that doesn't feel right. We're about a minute to deadline, guys. This is absolutely now the time to be getting your teams absolutely locked in. Rizzo says, Cashew, Doggy, Trippier, Chilwell, Szoboszlai. Bench 1. Szoboszlai with reluctance, maybe. God, that's rough. I do think Matty Cash will play right back, if that helps at all. Gosh, it's rough. I'd probably bench Cash, actually. Bit shit that, but that's probably what I'd do. Yogi says, Foden and Visser out for Alvarez and Bumo. It's kind of... Now's not the week, mate. Leave it be. James Brennan says, hi, James. Started with Garnacho as an enabling midfielder. Is he worth just holding now? I think he might be. Get, again, information job. But bench it. Get yourself information. Alan McNamara says, morning, James. Foden and Sterling to Sun captain and Rodrigo for -4. I presume it's meant to be Rodri. I mean, I know the official account calls him. But no, I wouldn't. You're getting rid of 2 good players for 1 good player and it's cost you -4. No. Deadline has hit, guys. I wish you all the very, very best of luck. If you came just for the FPL stuff, you can disappear now. Smash a like, hit the sub button on the way. I'm not doing a jailing celebration because this stream's not got nearly enough likes and doesn't cost anything to just smash a button, guys. Content, let me do that before. If anyone's got any non-FPL questions, pop them in the chat and I'll cover them for 15 minutes or so, but as you can probably tell, I want to get off the Spurs. Content, Monday, me and Suj, Gameweek 5 review podcast. Tuesday, probably be People's Poll. Wednesday, Sky Fantasy Football. Thursday, Clash of Correspondence. This week is Liverpool versus West Ham with Dan Lord and Chris Stone. Friday, Ask James stream. It's probably going to be quite early. Might even be sort of 10 o'clock-ish in the morning, maybe even, but I'll confirm. Patreon content, if you want to support the show, www.patreon.com/planetfpl. Join Patreon because you want to support the show, what we do, and help support things like these free streams, or if you want additional content. No one here is promising to make you a great FPL manager, but the community may well help, and some things I say do occasionally come in useful. Next week, podcast will be Q&A Monday. Tuesday, me and Clayton will be doing our UCL fantasy drafts, going through our selections for that, and that'll be out quite early Tuesday. Wednesday, Tottenham. Thursday, Money in Football on the takeover of Everton Football Club. Next Friday will be our Game Week 6 preview. If you want even more additional video content, I'll promise the advanced tier patrons another Nico's Choice this week because I seem to absolutely love them. Probably do Twitter stories on Forest Burnley from Monday night. We'll have the answer Qs. It could be talking tactics on Southampton. Despite telling advanced tier patrons yesterday, I probably wouldn't have time for it. I saw some defending in that game that was absurd. So bad beyond belief from Southampton. My goodness, quite scary. They'll concede shitloads to the worst team in the league the way they're going, mate. I might do that. I haven't decided yet. That would be quite unique to cover a championship and talking tactics, but I might do it. And Team News stream next Friday for advanced tier patrons as well with predicted lineups, etc. If you want to support the show, www.patreon.com/planetfpl. As Suj would say, keeps the lights on, and that is factual. There is no Planet FPL anymore without the support of our patrons. FPL Gold Galazzo says, smash the like button, you mugs. I will cover this one comment. Rockpie123 says, Pedro Porro, captain, let's go. I did have him on the top 10. I'm surprised no one mentioned it. Thomas Powell says, hey James, going bowling with my housemates later. We're nearly 30 for reference. Not ideal. But are you a bumpers up or down man? I'd be a bumpers down man, but it depends who you're playing with, right? Like, there's, if I'm with the wife, there's no point, right? And obviously with Harry as well, right? Harry's going to need the bumpers, obviously. So it depends who you're with. If you're going with your mates, bumpers down, mate, definitely. Because it's legit, whoever's the best is going to win from there then, right? If you have one person who's absolutely outstanding beyond belief, then you put the bumpers up. Lee Sherwood says, greetings from the beach in Malta. Can confirm the rip-off chicking here is rubbish. Have a word with son to blank cheers. I get this at least once a monthly where someone sends me a picture of a chicking and they go, look, chicking's in this country. And I'm like, that's not the one. It's not the one. There's a chain of exactly the same name. There's a chain. It's got nothing to do with the chicking in Tottenham High Road. Even though the symbol they use is quite similar. Guess what? It's a chicken. But nah, nothing will compare to chicking on Tottenham High Road. I don't care. It's the bollocks. It is the best fried chicken shop in the world, and I will not be told any different. If you get outside chicken 1 hour before Tottenham, you ain't going to see kick-off of the game. Madness. What a place. And it's cheap. It's reasonably priced as well. I'm not saying it's good for you, but it's great. Ben Edinson says, Sky question. Looking to move off Mitoma for a Chelsea player. Who's the best punt in your opinion? Sterling question or just go Silva? Already planning to go Bowen to bat. Silva by miles for me. Yeah, really pleased with that choice that I made because I got him in quite a while ago when they played West Ham. Or did I start with him? Might have even started him. I can't remember now. Any case, I've had him since near the start, and I'm really pleased with that decision because there was a lot of, Chilwell. I'm looking at him. I'm rack up passing numbers here, fairly obvious, and he'll be at the centre of it. So yeah, Thiago Silva by miles for me for Sky, mate. Andrew Jarvis is non-FPL question. Best England defender from 90s, 0s, 2010s. And who will be in the 20s? All the best, mate. So you want one for each decade. Okay. 90s. You just said defender, didn't you? So you've not even said position necessarily. 90s. I think across all of it, probably Tony Adams. That's all those Stuart Pearce was in and out quite a bit. Shitload of caps. Maybe actually no. Do you know what? In terms of across all of it, 90, 92, 96. Yeah, probably Stuart Pearce actually. Probably. 2000s. There's a lot to choose from now. You got Terry Ferdinand, obviously. I think, though, that he was unquestionably best left back in the world for a period. I'm going to say Ashley Cole. 2010s. God, that's not a good period of my life. 2010s. Oh, who's locked that down? There's not many, is there? It's a rough. God, I could end up saying Gary Cahill here. 2010s. God, that's rough, isn't it? I'm now like Glenn Johnson. Fucking hell. Is Gary Cahill the right answer? God, that can't be right. I'm just trying to think of someone consistently who played through the 2010s for England. Gee, might be. Les Scott. I can't be saying that, surely. That's really rough. God, we were shit. We were shit, really bad. Bring back Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire would have walked into those teams. I'm gonna say Gary Cahill, unless I'm just having a big major blank. I think that's the right answer. Bloody hell. 2020s. John Stones. Could I get away with Carl Walker for the 2010s? I think that's taking a piss, isn't it? I think it is. I think it's taking... Yeah, I'm going to say Gary Cahill. I'm going to say John Stones for the 20s. Jonathan says, how are your opinions changed and managed between now and when he was appointed? Were you sceptical initially? Yeah, and I think it's okay to be, right? You don't know what the jump's going to be, and let's not pretend that I'd seen the Celtic play like I hadn't, right? What became clear was once you start researching, you're like, this is going to be fun. Like, I don't know if it's going to be good, but it's going to be fun. So, to be honest, by the time the season was beginning, and to be honest, as soon as the sort of first pre-season game against West Ham, the scepticism was gone. I was like, I'm going to enjoy this. And that's the most important thing to me after the last few years. So, I mean, but to be honest, every time he speaks, you like him a bit more. I'm already at the place. I'm like, shit, I hope no one else takes him. Like, I'm already there. Because he's given the football club back his identity in 4 games. Like, it's staggering. The football club's wavered from been anything but Tottenham for the last 4 years, and he's managed to give it back to the crowd. And you'll see in upcoming games and stuff, like the atmosphere. Even though we've had one game at White Hart Lane, I can tell you already, atmosphere is going to be different. I've seen a change even at the Emirates, in fairness, over the last couple of years, because they've got something identifiable and they can believe in. Tottenham's going to become raucous again. It's going to become a really difficult place for teams to come and play. So yeah, I'm so thrilled. Like, genuinely, like as I said, he's already hit what I wanted this season. He's already done it. And I know there's going to be bad days in terms of like what he's done, who he is as a human being, the way he covers difficult topics, the way he looks like he treats and empowers, which is really important, his players and trusts them. Brilliant. I'm over the moon with him. That's all I could say. Lucas Perez says, Game Week 6, Sun. We're not doing any more FPL. Lucas, fucking just no disrespect, mate. Stop, mate. Stop. Just chill. Richard M says, hey James, I'm looking to lock in my girlfriend as captain. How do I know she's the one? Well, Danny, you can answer that, mate. I can't answer it for you. There isn't a life science to marriage, right? I think I was, how long have you been together is the first thing to say. Not that that's necessarily important, but I do think it's relevant because, and this isn't to advise anyone, but, and I've had mates go through this and it's like, oh, she's the one. I've been with her a year now and I'm proposing. A year? You just made a commitment for like 50 or 60 and you want to base that on a year. And then when you do that as a percentage, you've not even done like 2% with what you're about to do with this same person. And you're going to evolve over age, right? Me and Katie are not the same people that we were when we met. Nothing like it. We're both completely different persons now. So you got to factor that into your thinking. You're going to change. We'll change again. We'll be different people again in 10 years or so, right? I was a nutcase when I was like 26, 27. She was as well. Now we just want a peaceful life and we've got a child and shit's different, right? So like there's no science, right? But I do think sometimes my advice would be just step back and just ask yourself, like, what happens in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? What haven't we done yet? What's the impact of this? And say that you haven't had children, you want to have children in the future. Like, there's no way of knowing, right, how that's going to affect. But sometimes just brave. Just brave. And if you know and she's happy and she's got to feel the same, that's important, by the way. Like, any doubts for her, back off, mate. You both got to feel the same. And if you're happy, go for it, mate. Like, to flip the story, right? I know someone, a good friend of mine, got married at 17. He's now in his 40s. They're still together. So, like, it can work and stuff, right? Just, if you don't know, you don't know. Let's do that. If you don't know, you don't know. You will know. Maybe that's the best advice. God, love life with James. What we needed with Clayton's smooth voice for that. Cole JB says, morning, James. Good luck this week and glad to everything worked out with school. Thank you, mate. There's a little bit of hurdles to cover yet. And did you know what? There were things in that little piece I did last night for you that I left out, and that was because he was distracting me. But it's been a tough week, but we've come out of it at the right side. FPL Gold Galazzo says, Rafael, Leao or Mitoma, which player would you prefer at Spurs? The way we play, Mitoma. That's not to say Mitoma's a better player than Leao, it's just the way we play. I mean, Mitoma could be lightning. We won't be buying either of those players, so it's kind of irrelevant. FPL Punk, you didn't go Sonny. No, mate, no, I didn't. Abraham says, hi James, do you think Victor Boniface is the next big thing as a number 9? Who? Is that the guy Wolves have bought? Is it? Like, I don't know. I don't know who that is. It might be the guy Wolves have bought. Penguin says, how's your Harry doing at school? How are you doing with him being at school? Cheers, mate, for the great and friendly content. You are the GOAT. He's done really well this week. He's done really well. I won't say too much more than that. 'Cause the patrons know because we've done bits recently, and it's a good place now. It's been a difficult week, not because of him. He's been great, by the way. He's been great, but I would rather not moan about it now because we've got the help for him that he wants and stuff. Let's put it that way. So yeah, he's done really well, really well. Rob Westerway says, thanks for the stream, James. Sky question: only have Turner on Monday. If he doesn't start, would you let it go or bring another captain in? Any keeper standing out? Right, so this is the first thing you have to think. If Turner doesn't start, you need an exit plan, right? Now that exit plan becomes any other team the following weekend. Now you could just gamble, go Trafford. But I spoke on Wednesday's pod about concerns about that because he's not had a great start himself. But that would be an easy way out. Just go Trafford. And then if he makes it as far as the Luton game, that's probably your solution. But the best captaincy for Sky Monday night is Al-New. Just a note, by the way, on the deadline stream next week, because it's a 1:30 p.m. UK time deadline. My wife's away next week. She's not going to be around, so I will be doing the stream with Harry. He's not going to be sitting here for the whole stream, but I will be looking after him while I'm doing the stream. And it's in the afternoon. If I come to the conclusion that it's going to piss down with rain, let's say from 2 o'clock onwards, and the weather's going to be nice in the morning and lunchtime, there won't be a deadline stream next week. I will take my son out. So it's just a little heads up. The intention is to do the stream, but like I said, if it's something like that with the weather where it's going to be bad from the afternoon onwards, but it's going to be nice in the morning and lunchtime, then sorry, I'm taking him out. Rob Westerway says, thanks for the stream. That's what we've just done. Immortal Technique. By the way, mate, I've been meaning to do this for a while. Shout you out. You're in the comments every stream, and I want you to know that I see it, and I'm very grateful for it, and I want to say thank you for that, mate. Scott Fitzgerald said, a Spurs capable of winning the Premier League this season with a bit of luck. Need more than a bit of luck, mate. You need no injuries for a start. And that's important, by the way. If anything comes out of this team, from Vicario, Van der Ven, Romero, Udogi, Bissouma, Maddison, we're in trouble. Immediately, by the way. But with a 1 game a week, stay fit, play, and it's fine. Look, is it impossible? No. No. Is it likely? I mean, someone said earlier they got 40-1. I'd maybe be interested if it was 400-1. Jacko says Salah captain and starting Richarlison. Yeah, thank you. Good luck, Jack. I can't really be bothered to talk about FPL anymore, mate. Mr. Tool says Sky moves Bernardo Silva to Rice tonight and Gusto to Bayer on Monday. I mean, if you can, wait for tomorrow morning. Just make sure he's travelled and stuff like that, mate. But you know, if you're busy, yes, you can make it done at the end of the games today. Yeah, it's fine. Swizz says, really wise words. When is the Planet Relationship Advice pod being released? Never. That's the sort of shit that only gets reserved for our patrons, mate. Michael Johnson says, the cells in your body die and new ones grow in their place. The cycle takes like 5 years. So you're literally a new person every 5 years. Wow. That's deep. Okay. Greg Frost says, Bayer Leverkusen and Alonso are making moves. Yeah, did they draw with Bayern last night? Baby. Yeah, there were teams to keep an eye on. He was being linked with the Tottenham job in the summer. So, yeah, keep eyes. Michael Johnson says, Sky is hard to get around. I was top of the Chelsea fan league for like a week last year, but dipped drastically. FPL goal, Galazzo, Southgate out or stay? Stay. Massively. Massively stay. Massively stay. What are you replacing him with? Oh, I want to get Eddie Howe instead. Stop it. I've spoken about this a lot. I had a massive rant on our Patreon Q&A on Monday in defence of Gareth Southgate, which looked better when England played quite well in Scotland on Tuesday. No. Gareth Southgate decides when he stops managing England. There's a major difference between club football and international football. And people expect international teams to play like club teams when managers see their players let's say when there's no summer tournament, see their players for like 10 days on 4 different times a season. Nah, honestly, it's a massive difference. He's given England pride back. Is he the best manager in the world? No, but like, I'm perfectly happy. Is he capable of taking England to winning that trophy next year? I truly believe yes. So no, like fucking hell, man. To be honest, I don't even get the talk. I get some of the frustration, but then look at Bellingham Tuesday night, right? Plays as an out-and-out 10, And everybody was, pay Bellingham deeper so we can get another forward player in the team and stuff. Structure, balance, better. Why do you want to take Bellingham out of his best position? Who put him there? Southgate. People say, don't give young players a chance. He put Jude Bellingham in the team before some of us had even heard of Jude Bellingham. So, yeah, no, I'm not like, Southgate fanboy, but I just don't get why people want to change. And this period, qualifiers and all shit, it's irrelevant. England will qualify. All that matters is next summer. Before the World Cup, England were playing bad. Really bad. Far worse than now. Does anybody remember? All that matters is the tournament. Nothing else matters. He's fine. Hunter Type says, James is such a lovely guy. I've made some big transfers when it comes to content providers. Took out some big names. Lol. Thanks, James. Boom. Forever QPR Sweet. Osimhen or Lautaro for UCL Fantasy. I'm going neither, and I'm going Marcus Thuram as coverage for Inter. There's probably going to be no Napoli for me on my strategy. Penguins is glad to hear that Harry's in a good place. Kids are the best. I bet being a dad changed you totally. Of course, mate. Like a light bulb goes off in terms of every fuck up you've made in your life is like, that needs to now be a fuck up and not something that gets repeated. FPL Punk says, on Southgate, people forget how shit we were before him. I haven't. Gary Robinson says, well said on Southgate, James. He's the best manager most of us have seen in our England watching lifetime, and play Bellingham higher up means we can win a tournament. If that means Phillips is in too. Cheers, pal. Right, I'm leaving it there because I'm going to Tottenham. I wish you all the very, very best of luck for the week. Again, if you want to support the show and help us keep doing the free content like shit like this, www.patreon.com/planetfpl. And there's plenty of new content. The schedule's always posted normally on a Sunday night. You can see what we provide during the week, etc. That's a post that's always available for public viewing as well. www.patreon.com/planetfpl. Other than that, thanks very much. Smash a like, hit the sub button on your way out. Me and Suj will be back on Monday. Ciao for now. Good luck, everyone.